was from here. There's a nice drawing there, but behind that there's a staircase. You see the steps. It leads from the level of the road today, which is an artificial level. It's not the original one, but it leads from there down to the staircase. There is mostly from the Mamluk era, from the 14th century. Okay, so it's a later phase, because in the Canaanite phase, the entire topography was different here. You hear the spring, right?
Yeah.
You can actually see the spring. It's the water down below, right? That's the level of the spring. Outside the spring, that was the valley of Kidron, and it was 15 meters deeper than it is today. So once the earth accumulated in the valley of Kidron, you had to come down to the spring, but originally, when you came out of the spring, you went down to the valley. You understand the difference of the events here? In the past, look at me, my laser pointer is the spring, right? That's the level of the spring. Here it is. The valley of Kidron used to be here. That's my other hand. Today, it's like that. That's the accumulation of earth for the last 2,500 years or so. So the topography totally changed. We are inside the Canaanite fortress, the Canaanite spring tower. Okay, the stones behind you belong to that spring, the spring tower. But the arches do not.
Yes.
The arch here is medieval, probably Mamluk. But the arch here, we call that a barrel-shaped arch because it's shaped like a barrel, a round arch. Unlike the slightly pointed arch here, look at me.
Yes.
This is a pointed arch. Look at me, look at me. My fingers now form a pointed arch. But if I move it like that, it's more round, semicircle. We call it a barrel shape. It's a barrel-shaped arch. And this one we now know is from the Second Temple period. Why would anyone bother to build an arch, actually a vault, next to the spring? We never understood that. We never realized that until the excavators got to this point and they dug underneath the staircase. Now you can't see it today because the way we got in was from there, not from here. And now it's blocked, it's too low, it's dangerous. But when it was excavated, I was able to sneak in, and actually it was very dangerous. And I could clearly see the remains of a Jewish ritual bath, a mikveh, but a fabulous one with remains of the staircase. Now the staircase is gone, but it filled up the entire space. When they hewn it and got rid of the staircase, what was left on the wall was the imprint of the stairs. So that's how we know it's a staircase. And it is a ritual bath from the Second Temple period.
Right here.
Right underneath us. You can't reach it at the moment. Technically you can, but it's not allowed. It's very problematic from health and safety regulations. So they're not allowing anyone in. But during the excavation, it was possible to explore.
Is it still filled?
Sorry?
Is it still filled?
No, it's not. It's not. Just 1 second. You can hear the water gushing out the Gihon spring. Okay. To get to the Gihon spring, all you need to do is walk down the staircase to the end, and you'll be in water. That's where the actual spring gushes, which is inside a cave. And from that point, for 533 meters, it's the Siloam tunnel from the time of Chizkiyahu. That's the final phase in the evolution of the systems. The first phase was the Canaanite fortress. Second phase was in the 8th century, finding the Warren shaft system, finding the Warren shaft and drawing water. The final phase, getting rid of everything, rebuilding over them, and then using a tunnel, taking the water from here to the pool of Siloam. At the end of the tunnel, after 533 meters, You will be seeing, if you walk there, you'll be seeing a replica of the famous Siloam inscription, talking about the true groups queuing one towards the other, meeting not in the middle, closer to the outlet. It's a story recounted in the Bible and also in this inscription, even though it's not the same narrative. So at this point, you can either take your group directly into the Siloam tunnel, or take them through the Canaanite tunnel. Okay? When we were here last time, I took you out to the main road here. We didn't even get to here.
Yeah.
But at this point, this is a decision point. Now, you don't make the decision here. Okay? If you do that, you won't be able to continue. You have to make up your mind before you get to the city of David, and doing the reservation, you tell the people of the city of David, guys, I'm going to take the wet route, i.e. Siloam Tunnel, 533 meters, or the dry route, that's the Canaanite. Okay? They both are here, the entrances are here, but you have to tell them in advance. Okay? If you decide to go through Hezekiah's tunnel, you must be prepared. There's water inside, so you have to have lights. All of us now have lights in our cell phones, that shouldn't be a problem. But also clothes and perhaps shoes for walking in water, right? You have to make sure you have a bag to put your stuff in your backpack high enough, because sometimes water gets to your waist, and for some of us up to the nose. Just kidding, not really, but higher than the waist. So it means that everything gets wet, right? You have to take that into consideration. And finally, you must remember, we always have claustrophobic people who refrain from going into dark spaces, tunnels and so on. You have to tell them that in advance. Make sure that they realize that there's a half a kilometer walk in the dark. Okay? You can mention that it is open on both sides. In my experience, some people who are claustrophobic wouldn't mind going through a tunnel if they know it has two entrances and that there's wind, fresh air going through. I don't know why it happened. So take that into consideration. Whatever you do, it won't help. Once you get down here, always someone will raise his hand and say, sorry, I can't go in, I'm claustrophobic. Why didn't you tell that in advance? I said that on the bus 72 times. But people don't listen. People don't listen. So in that case, you must be prepared to send that person back to the entrance. He will not be able to do that. It's too complicated, and this is why you have not your guide, but the group leader, the priest, whatever, depending on the group. This is his job. He has to be prepared, and you should share your sentiments with him. Okay, in advance. We're going to go there. Make sure, please, ask them. Make sure that, and so on and so forth. The other option, which is the shorter. Oh, this one, by the way, takes about 40 minutes. Okay, in the water. Exciting. I highly recommend that you do it at least once in your life. I mean,
how's the weather downstairs?
No.
it's fine, even in the winter, minus 20, minus
Is there
30,
just
not that horrible. But in the summer it's really great, and you dry much quicker when you get out. The other option is to take the dry route. The dry route is 120 meters long. Okay, and it's dry. They're both narrow, and it's dry. Okay, and it takes about 10 minutes instead of 40 minutes. So that's part of your considerations, whether to take the group here, on that way, or the other. You have to make up your mind in advance. Don't promise them anything, just in case you can't live up to your promises, and for some reason you can't go because you suddenly realize, oh my God, I talked for so long, we simply don't have time for the Siloam tunnel. You take them through the Canaanite tunnel. Just tell them it's Chizkiyahu, they wouldn't know. Just kidding, it's dry, at the moment it's dry. Anyhow, it's important to note therefore how you should design your visit in this system. Okay, it sounds funny now, but once when you're with a group, you have to take care of all these considerations in advance and not once you're here. Now you understand why. Okay, questions?
I just want to clarify, sometimes you